Gem80, this is the one. Let's get started. This is NuPhy's first ever custom keyboard, and I was honestly very surprised. From the unboxing alone, the experience was very impressive. The board sent over from NuPhy is the Obsidian Black variant, and I believe there are 4 color variations where you can check out from other YouTubers showcasing other colors. Wired version starts at $150, and the tri-mode, which is the one I'm having, starts at $170 instead. As the name suggests, 80 meaning the keyboard is a TKL, a boring layout but does the job very well in catering different kind of user needs. The board supports Win-Mag layout with a proper toggle switch at the top right corner of the board. Next to it is a separate toggle switch for you to change different connectivity. Looking at the renders itself, initially I was unsure of the overall material of the board, whether it is ABS plastic for the top frame or not. NuPhy was kinda smart in this. The top frame was made of polished alloy chassis and the bottom frame is made of PC. The reason for the material of the bottom frame was to ensure better Bluetooth reception as compared to an alloy chassis instead. If you are interested in learning more about each decision the NuPhy team takes in the design of the board, you can check out the dedicated page by NuPhy. The board claims to be omni-mount, meaning it covers all kinds of mounting options: top mount, gasket mount, bottom mount, you name it. Depending on the softness you wish, top mount being the stiffest, and gasket mount with the silicone gasket attached being the softest. By default, the board comes with an FR4 plate, which in my opinion is more than enough to achieve a deeper tone in your build. You definitely can purchase extra plates on the website, such as Alu or Palm, for different kind of sound profile. Be aware, the Palm plate and PC plate has no flex cuts. The steps provided have quite a unique look. I can see that it is tuned as they applied some loops on it. FYI, the PCB does not support PCB mounted stabilizers. Just stay with the stock ones as they are quite fine. Opening the board, 3 cables attached to the PCB, and the amount of foams was pretty shocking. Starting from 2 poron foams and a thick bottom silicone. Checking out between the PCB and plate, we have the plate foam, switch pad, and a plastic sound dampener. Speaking of the PCB is great. 5-pin hot swap, per key south-facing RGB, QMK VIA compatible with whopping 1000Hz polling rate, ensuring a low latency performance. In this build, I'll opt for a palm plate this time for a deeper tone. Again, no flex cuts as mentioned. The switches provided is the NuPhy Raspberry linear factory loop, operates at 45 grams, and the keycaps I received having an MSA profile double shot PBT. NuPhy team really paid attention to small details. As you can see, there are PCPs at the spacebar, which I believe is responsible for sound absorption. On some keys, there's a tiny cutout for the homing bars. The homing bars is just something that allows you to place your fingers at the right keys, especially in dark environment. That pretty much covers some of the main aspects of the board. Let's quickly go through a sound test. Take a listen. Sounds great, topped with a rich deep tone. I personally like the sound from the spacebar. It is really different from the rest, muted in a good way. Typing is slightly stiff for me, other than that it is enjoyable. Some design talks I had throughout the build. If you are a Mac user, you definitely will love this. The quick screenshot key has easily become the most used tool right now. Overall, the keys are really Mac users friendly by default. Haven't had the chance to open VIA ever since using the board. Backlight keys are customizable. Side light, homing bars, nameplate LED all have its own ways in customizing, which is neat. Speaking of the nameplate, I don't think there's any alternative nameplates being sold right now. Anyway, it is magnetic and detachable. Removing it just by pressing on the left side and pull it out. Software side, I don't think NuPhy has ever created a custom software for you to change the lighting or the keys. But since this board is VIA compatible, allows you to do most of the basic stuffs already. Side note, the yellow chassis for the top frame is actually coated very well. What I mean is that it doesn't attract much fingerprints at all, even with sweaty fingers sometimes. As I was trying to find anything bad to say about it, I struggle. I really do. I hate to say this, people often say there is no perfect boards, but for TKL, this might be it. And I really appreciate the efforts NuPhy team has put into designing every single detail of the board. From front to back, top to bottom, everything is so clean, and I thoroughly enjoy building this board, to be completely honest with you. $170, I wouldn't say it's cheap, and of course not expensive for a custom keyboard like this. Other than the pre-built kit, there are so much foams for you to play with, so much plates for you to choose as well. Obviously, the possibilities are endless over here. I promise that if you are building this one, you'll be having a great time as I do. And of course, be sure to check out the code CYAN for an additional 10% off. It only works for bare-bone kit, by the way. Do share your thoughts if you have any questions for me. Sub if you haven't, and I'll see you soon.